DK Metcalf,
you be you, young man,
because who you is
or who you are is very, very good. 177 yards on 10 catches last night. Could have had a touchdown, went through him, but that's all right. One day he might be catching them like Megatron. I'm kidding, kind of. In Seattle's 23-17 victory on Monday Night Football over the Philadelphia Football Eagles that you heard here on The Sports Animal, Seattle takes over first place in the NFC West after the Cardinals and the Rams both got beat on Sunday. So while the NFC West takes form, so does the NFC East, and the Eagles drop another chance to jump on top and jump in control of the NFC East. They're 3-7-1, and at 4 and whatever they are, the Giants are in first place with the Redskins. What's up, y'all? Merry December. How about that, JJ Buck? December 1st is now upon us. It is the first day of that last month. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. We're on ProView Networks as well. Alden and Jay Pohl back there. Micah back at Radio Ranch on the radio side. What's good, man?
Well, it's unbelievable that it's December, but here we are, and definitely you do you, DK Metcalf, because when you think about unstoppable players in the NFL, we saw 3 this week in have huge games. Yeah, Tyreek Hill with his connection, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, the weapon that DK Metcalf is. I think Derrick Henry is in that conversation, just the elite of the elite. There's a lot of good players in that league, but there's a few that stand out, and DK Metcalf is definitely one of those guys. Because you know what? Philadelphia's defense actually did show up. Outside of DK Metcalf having his day, a couple of big goal line stands, got him off the field in 4th down, held him the field goals in the second half. But, of course, once again, the story with Philadelphia is the offensive line, Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson doing too much. I don't get it. It's not going to get fixed this year. And the question is, do you run it all back? Because I think there's still enough talent there with Carson Wentz, but they're a disaster all around him.
Well, they got a lot invested in Carson Wentz, and I struggle blaming it all on Carson Wentz, and then I watch him make some of the decisions that he makes, and you know, you say, did Carson Wentz get worse yesterday? And I think the answer probably is yeah. I think Carson Wentz got worse yesterday. Now, was it all on Carson Wentz? No, but. Boy, 25 for 45, 215, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He wasn't good. The defense for Philadelphia has not been horrible. If you look at what they've done all year, they're not losing because their defense is horrible. They're losing because they're getting down in games because they don't score early. They gave up 17 this week, 17 last week, 17 the week before, 9 the week before. That's not. You should be able to win when you're giving up 17, 9, 21 points, right? I mean, that gives you a chance to win, especially you have Carson Wentz, a quarterback, a guy who was first overall in the draft, and you believed in so much, and you paid what you paid. You should be able to win. Now, their offensive line is their issue. Their offensive line is damn near getting him murdered. They don't run the ball well. Their receivers of all year, and I don't understand the disappearance and the lack of going to Travis Fulgham. I understand that Jeffrey is back. I understand that they like Jalen Reagor, but Fulgham was good, and now that there's other receivers on the field, you would think that Fulgham would. Now, he should have caught that damn ball that got tipped, the one that swung the spread, JJ, the last ball, the Hail Mary, which if he catches that damn ball, I win my fantasy game as opposed on a Hail Mary instead of losing it. But I don't understand why they've gone away from him so much, because don't you think he was really good when those guys were out? Now those guys are back, and they've completely turned their back on him.
Yeah, Fulgham was a good receiver. I think is still a good receiver and should be a part of that rotation. And I think more with Philadelphia, it's one or the other. Like, the talk coming in was all of a sudden Jalen Hurts was going to get more snaps. He's taking first-team reps. You saw him on the field and come off the field because he had a helmet issue. He really didn't play that much more. It's one or the other at this point in time. Like, Philadelphia is not a good enough team to be messing around with Jalen Hurts. You look at New Orleans, and at times earlier in the season when Taysom Hill was coming in, and it was frustrating. But they're a good team. Like, they figured it out. They're all in on that. The Philadelphia Eagles have to be one or the other. If you really want to give Carson Wentz a break, then start Jalen Hurts. It's either you're in or you're out, because they have to rebuild that entire offensive line next year. Like, stop relying on Jason Peters. The dude's past his prime. Like, it's so many little things that start adding up when you watch this team offensively. They're way too cute at times. They're just not good. And
they are way too cute.
We just sit there and we said, like, yeah, they should run away with it. They have Carson Wentz, even with the struggles, because we know how important that position is, and it's just not there.
So you think they should start Jalen Hurts? Because I think that means you're going away from Wentz, and they're not. They're obviously not ready to go away from Wentz. I
don't think it does.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think it's
you can go back to him?
Absolutely. You paid the dude $100 million. If his feelings get hurt, like, so be it. Like, I think they realize that it's an absolute disaster, and I don't think they're going to do it. But I think at this point in time, it's one or the other. If you want to play Jalen Hurts for a game. Like, give him the week as a starting quarterback, go in there and play him. Not dabble in it, have him take first-team reps in practice, and then do nothing. Like, be one or the other right now, because you're not good enough to mess around with anything.
What's Jalen Hurts going to do? Like, what makes you think Jalen Hurts? What makes, and obviously Doug Peterson does, but what's Jalen Hurts going to do behind that offensive line with that team that somehow is going to turn this thing around that makes them better than what they are with Carson Wentz? He's not Tom Brady. I throwing a rookie in there. I mean, I guess if you want to shake things up, and what do you got to lose? What you have to lose is risk Carson Wentz losing that team. And if Carson Wentz is your guy going forward, and you say, yeah, we took it away to try to give it to another guy, but that didn't work, so he's still our guy, and try to sell me that you're really sold on him, and go into next year with the same guys in the locker room and tell me that guy who we took out for Jalen Hurts, but he's still your guy because he's getting back. I don't know what the benefit is. Unless you're going to make the move.
The confidence issue. And, listen to Brian Greasy after the game. He thinks that even when Carson Wentz has times, he's in his own head. And it goes back to the decisions. And it's even when you're an established quarterback, at what point is there, say, we're going to sit you down right now. It's not all you, but you got to do something. Because yes, this division is still there for Philadelphia, but it's a team that it's like they're going to lose, right, in the playoffs. Even like we see crazy things happen in sports all the time, but this is one you're chasing in the division. You're below 500 team, one or the other. I think just stop putting them in there or let them start a game, either or.
So I'm digging for precedent in my head on that. Can you think of a quarterback, a starting quarterback, an established starting quarterback who was benched for a little bit, and it did him good, and he came back and took over that team? And just because it's never happened before doesn't mean it can't happen. I'm just looking for precedent on it, on the whole concept. I can't think of one. Can you?
There's probably a couple. This is a team issue and not just a Carson Wentz issue. So it's not necessarily like Jalen Hurts is going to come in and then all of a sudden have a better offensive line in front of him. But there's something wrong with that offense, and Carson Wentz is off even in the plays that he has time. And I do think he's a talented guy, but when you are making that much money, if you're going to get your feelings hurt, then that's on you. Like, you got to realize that even in this weird season for the NFC East, yeah, we don't have a lot of trust in Philadelphia. But what are you going to do? Doug Peterson said a lot of the same things all year long, and nothing changed for that offense or Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I don't know if it would just be a feelings hurt thing. I just think, do you lose the team, and how do you get it back? And you get it back by playing. And then if Jalen Hurts, if he wins a game, is he your guy?
No, I think this is one where, all right, if you somehow get a spark from Jalen Hurts or it doesn't work, you're a 3-win team. And I don't think you're going to lose the division in a week in the NFC East. And you go back to it. You're a coach. You make these tough decisions. You have that conversation with the quarterback room. I'm just thinking, outside the box, because to your point, you already lost the defense. They're like, yeah, DK Metcalf had 177 yards, but Seattle had 9 points in the second half. Like, there was an opportunity to get back in that game if the offense had a pulse.
Yeah, I think, there's a lot there. I just don't know that Jalen Hurts is the answer. And Doug Peterson sees what he sees in practice. And the other piece is, yeah, they drafted him where they drafted him, second round, right? I wonder if that was a Doug Peterson thing or if that was a front office thing. Because it doesn't feel like Doug Peterson's in love with him, the head coach. It feels like the front office was in love with him. It was odd on draft day. We all sat here and said, wait a minute, you guys need receivers. And you went out and got another quarterback after you just paid this guy a bankload of money. It made no sense at that point, and so do you have to justify using your second round pick? Is that part of the conversation here? Because I don't think you do. But whatever it is, they're brutal. They're brutal. Quarterbacks go through it, right? I mean, you see your stretches. Jared Goff is Goffle at times, like this last weekend. The week before, he was really, really good. It's a hard position. There's a small handful of players in the National Football League that you say, and Tom Brady's not in it anymore, that you say each and every week, I expect that they're going to go out. Russell Wilson's one of them. Patrick Mahomes is one of them. I think Ben Roethlisberger is one of them. That you expect every week you think you know what you're getting, right? That don't just go. I think Aaron Rodgers is one of them. Kyler Murray probably is one of them, although he wasn't great last week. It's a hard position. How many guys? Everybody has a bad or two games, but more than two bad games a year. How many guys are out there that don't have that? There's 5, 6, maybe.
Yeah, not many. The top tier elite, consistently good to great week in and week out is very small. And I just, you look at Philadelphia, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just at the point where it's one or the other. Like, don't spend the week talking about Jalen Hurts and he got more first team reps last week, because there's so many problems with it. Like, just be in one or the other. You're not a good enough team to do the Saints way and get weird with it with Jalen Hurts on the field.
All right, Doug Peterson was the guy talking. It was a reporter, a beat reporter, who put that in the paper, and that's why we all were talking about it. And I'm glad he did, because I sat Carson Wentz. But I don't know that it came out of Doug Peterson and out of their camp that, well, we gave Jalen more reps and he's going to see more. I think it was in response to a question from a beat reporter that's why we were all talking about it.
Then what are you doing in practice with him?
Well, yeah, you're giving him more reps. For whatever reason, you're giving him more reps. But yes, then that's a conversation. All right, we got a lot to do today. 505-246-0610. It's the first week in December. Level basketball hasn't played a game yet. You thought this might be the week. No hoops for you. Remember the soup Nazi on Seinfeld? Maybe it's before you guys. No soup for you. There'll be no hoops for you this weekend for Lobo basketball. They're not going to Boise to open up conference play. That got postponed. We'll talk about that and when they may play. We got a lot of Lobo sports to talk about. I got a college team that had to play early in the morning because there was a high school game playing in the stadium. I'll tell you about that. 505-246-0610. We're on ProView Networks. The opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Played over to Madrid, plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide, big deflection, goal.
With this first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it.
They're really
Oliveris. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hidon. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hidon. The two-hand hammer by Hidon. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District matchup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yep.
Oh! Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Duma Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did! Oh my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in. Ramos to Gaxiola, high window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities.
This is what you sign up for, as a quarterback. Ever since you're a kid, you're prepared for any of those. Nothing's ever guaranteed, and so for me, I don't think about that though. I just try and go out and be the best player I can be in practice, prepare my tail off, compete my tail off, and hopefully we can get this thing turned around. But I don't think about those things. I'm going to give it everything I got every time I step on the field.
Carson Wentz, after last night's loss 23-17 to the Seahawks, Carson Wentz 215 yards, 25 for 45, 215, 2 touchdowns, one interception, and another loss. And it's growing. If you're looking for positives from COVID, and I think we all probably are, it's not just that commercial we run on here about mortgages. No, it's not all bad news. If you're looking for any sort of a positive, I guess if you're an Eagle player, at least the stadium's not filled with fans who are screaming what they scream in Philadelphia at you. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking for something.
When you off the field.
Yeah, and if you're the father of a teenager girl, it's keeping the boys away. I'm just saying. Look, I'm looking for positives like y'all are everywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's, me. I'm a positive kind of a guy. I'm always trying to find something that's a little bit more positive. So that's what I'm able to find for you. But yeah, get in on Carson Wentz last night. 505-246-0610. All right, no hoops for you. There will be no Lobo basketball on Friday. Aggies play tonight. They will play Benedictine Mesa. Look, they're just trying to put a schedule together, and I heard some Lobo fan kind of laugh yesterday, ha, and I'm like, dude, at least they're playing. Like, wouldn't you rather be playing Benedictine Mesa than isolated in West Texas playing nobody? And I know they're trying to put a schedule together. The women are playing this week, but Look, Chris Jans is doing the best he can to get his team ready for WAC play. And if he's got to play NAIA teams in Arizona, then go out and play NAIA teams. He spoke
really
again yesterday.
Wouldn't be any different than an opener you'd see anyway from these teams.
Right.
So this is New Mexico State doing what they can to be prepared for WAC play, and that is the next step for the Lobos. Because you can laugh all you want. If the Lobos wanted to play basketball, there was a game scheduled, and they could have played basketball this week, but they weren't comfortable with it because they wanted to play Benedict Cumberbatch or someone else to open the season before having to play Mountain West basketball.
Who's Benedict Cumberbatch?
He's an actor.
Is he really?
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were like,
Strange.
y'all. Okay, I thought you were going Edward on me. Arkansas Pine Bluff and or Pine Sol, whatever he gives me. So this was interesting, and this one went down to the presidents, and there was a moment last week where UNM was playing this game. UNM and Boise State. The presidents kind of got together. The AD wasn't included in this conversation, and they said, nope, we got a television agreement, and we've already postponed the other game because there's COVID at Colorado State. Fox Sports 1 needs a game, and we got a new television agreement with our new partner, and we got to do this for television next week, and New Mexico's got to go up and play. And they voted, and they were going to play. And I know Eddie's not happy about this. And this was I'll give Eddie a lot of credit on this one too. Eddie went to bat for student athletes. If his coach and his doctors say these young men need X number of practices and they're not ready to play, then they're not ready to play. And talking to some people, I do know that Eddie went to bat for student athletes and this basketball team and got it reversed. However, he got it reversed. I don't know if the league's sick in New Mexico yet. I don't know. The league's had to make a lot of accommodations for everybody, right? I mean, I can't think of. Can you think of one school in this league that hasn't? I don't think San Diego State's had a COVID cancellation because of them. I don't think Reno has, right? But it feels like everybody else has had some sort of going to the league saying, "Hey, can't do it. Can't do this, can't do that." I mean,
you deal with it as frustrating as it is. And this game was kind of right on that line. And I know that we've heard a lot from the beginning 2 weeks. I do think it's different, and if it's not Boise State, like if they don't get scheduled and they had a game they were comfortable with playing this weekend, I probably believe the basketball team would be playing. But it is different. We're talking about a 2-game series against a top team in the Mountain West Conference, and that's where everything is for the Lobos this season, is on conference play.
Do you mean because Boise State's a top-tier team, or because Boise State is Boise State and they tend to carry a little bit bigger hammer because of their football program?
I'm just talking strictly basketball. Like, if this was a game that they had set up against an opponent that they were comfortable with, probably see them take the court.
Well, yeah, if they were
against the Boise State, a conference opponent, that you're not going to feel good just walking into that as your first game of the season.
Right. If they were playing Benedictine Lubbock or whatever, then yeah, Benedictine College out of Hutchinson, Kansas. Yeah, then they probably would be playing that, and that's kind of what their point is. Although I think this is a big reason the Lobos aren't playing this week. So the doctors told UNM. Their doctor that, look, it's not safe for you guys to go out there without, whether it was 10, 12, whatever the number was of days of practices. And I do believe that was something that they used in regards to the league, as far as saying, hey, we need, this is what our doctor's saying. Well, then they can't go out and schedule Benedictine Mesa. You can't tell the league.
Now that the game is moved, you're not playing at all.
Right. My point is, you can't tell the league, we can't play Boise State because our doctor said it's not safe for us to play, and then go play Sisters Christian or Arkansas Pine Sol. You can't do that. If the doctor said you can't play, it's not safe, then it's not safe to play. Whether it's Boise State or whether it's Tarleton State or Panhandle State or West Texas State, right? It just doesn't matter. So that's. I don't know when you're going to see them. I'm going to guess you're going to see Lobo basketball next week. Guess, flat out, straight up guess, because at some point they got to start playing games, right?
Yes.
Now, I don't know who they're going to play, JJ. I have no idea who they're going to play. But I think you're going to see that sometime next week. So the Aggies go tonight. Do they have a game scheduled after tonight, or is it just whoever they can pick off after today? They've got Benedictine Mesa. And again, look, they played Arizona Christian the other night, number 9 team in NAIA. I don't know anything about Benedictine Mesa either. We'll find out if you watch them on the Aggie Vision tonight. But they don't have something scheduled after that, do they?
Put it to our research team.
Yeah, I don't think they do. And you got WAC play coming up, and they're like I said, they're just trying to get there. The women do play this week, right? Lobo women do play this week. It's finally game week for the Lobo women. Why is that different? Look, because. How many just answers have you just said? Yeah, because it is. Like what? You know what I mean?
A lot of answering questions that way.
Yeah, it is. So they're going to open up on Friday. They'll play at Midwestern State, which is in Wichita Falls in Texas. And then they'll travel and they'll play Sam Houston State on Sunday and then play December 16th at Prairie View A&M. So all these Texas games for the women, they're just going to kind of get in a bus and roll around Texas, go from Wichita Falls to Sam Houston State to Prairie View. And by the way, good for them. Good for them.
And that's why they're playing, because it's not Boise State, Colorado State, and Utah State.
Look, man, they weren't ready to go play that game. And that's why
That's simple.
Yeah, Boise State's been out playing, and New Mexico hasn't. Boise State's been practicing and playing games, and New Mexico hasn't. That's really what it comes down to. And I don't know. You can tell me it's not fair. They're making accommodations. This is kind of the world we're in. I mean, the NFL just made huge accommodations for the Ravens, didn't they? To move their game around to tomorrow at 1:40 in the afternoon. But
Tuesday.
Do you know why it's at 3:40 Eastern Time, 1:40 our time? Because the tree lighting ceremony in Rockefeller Center is scheduled on NBC that night. NBC, no way, was giving up that damn game. And they sure as hell weren't preempting the tree lighting ceremony, which is a 20-something million viewership event, and probably more because nobody can get outside, so they want to see a virtual tree lighting this year. And there was no way NBC was moving the tree lighting ceremony in Rockefeller Center for a COVID-delayed Steelers-Ravens game, even though it's a really good matchup. And so that's why they're going to play on a Wednesday afternoon. Okay.
Would have been a really good matchup is a keyword.
Yeah, I guess that's probably right. What number do you take the Ravens at this point? I mean, it's got to be double digits for you to take the Ravens?
Probably, I would. What is the spread on that game?
I don't know. I'll find it for you when we come back. 505-246-0610. Stand by for the spread. We'll give you that. I got a bunch of NFL news for you as well. And which regional college football team is going to have to play a morning game because there's a football game scheduled that night. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Gonna be coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window scores and is fouled.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a
Around the screen against White. Step back. It's blocked. JB with the block.
possession. I had to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up. Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Lamina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
In the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a 3 for...
Steelers by 10 over the Ravens on Wednesday afternoon football. What the hell, man? All right. Look, again, because I'm done trying to explain stuff in this here. I just, and if you need an explanation, that's on you at this point. Like, seriously. Why are we doing this? Why is it?
I don't buy it from the NFL. That's for sure. I'm done trying to listen to Adam Schefter and all these guys say, well, this is why Pittsburgh and Baltimore is different, and Denver had to have a practice squad quarterback play. What? Okay.
Well, that's fair, actually. And what was his explanation? Why was it different?
Because the integrity of the schedule. The NFL was running out of dates to move these games, and it had to be played because it was not an outbreak of a virus. It was rules being broken, which, okay, I get. But
he's not wrong.
Y'all didn't suspend John Gruden. He still coached the game. You find him. Y'all didn't. It just...
He didn't have to miss games, did he?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to. He didn't put his team in that situation. He just screamed on the sideline. But yes, are apples. Look, the Broncos got screwed. Now, is the integrity of the schedule in question? I think we can have that conversation. How many games can you move? Because every game you move, it affects 2 more teams. Right? These games that got moved, it affects the Cowboys next week. It affects. Steelers are playing on Wednesday. They can't play again on Sunday, so they're moving them back to Monday of next week. They'll play Washington on Monday. The Dallas-Baltimore games got moved till Tuesday because I don't know why not Monday, but why Baltimore keeps getting extra days, and Lamar Jackson's going to be able to play. It looks like if they give him enough time.
Yeah, so Lamar's not going to, as of now, right? Lamar's not playing Wednesday. But you're getting some of your running backs, I think Dobbins and Ingram back in this case for the Ravens. I think we lost your audio, Jeff.
You on mute, Jeff?
I think we lost your audio in there, Jeff. But it's, the situation for the NFL, it's containing the virus, is what they're saying with Baltimore, what they had to do with some of these other situations. And it's more so, too, about just what do you want to do? Can you keep it fair and competitive in a season where there are so many unknowns? Things aren't going to be totally fair in these situations. Because were you thinking Denver was going to beat the Saints on Sunday? No, but were you thinking it possibly could be a competitive game as you have Taysom Hill at quarterback for the Saints? Possibly. In this you never know week-to-week situation, because if your team's out there like now Seattle and, of course, Green Bay, the NFL gifted the Saints that game on Sunday. And it's one that could they have played this on Monday, so only push it a day so you're not damaging the schedule too much. Fine that quarterback room. Drop the fines on them. Yeah, they broke the rules. But then have the other guys, because it was Jeff Driscoll that tested positive. And you test Drew Lock, you test Brett Rippon, give them a day, and then say, all right, we'll play on Monday. Don't do it again. Here's your fines. Have a good week. I think we got you now, Jeff. Now he can't hear us, but I think we can hear him. We'll get this figured out. Like you said, it's 2020 technical difficulties, but we have Wednesday NFL.
How many days? I mean,
there we go.
The rules. Yeah, I guess. I've been talking to myself for a while. I saw your lips moving though, so I'm like,
we were. We're like, Jeff can't hear us, or we can't hear him.
I don't know. I mean, now do you hear me now?
Yes.
Like this whole should we go to the studio kind of a thing? Yeah, it's crazy. When are the Broncos quarterbacks cleared? When are they allowed to come back?
I haven't heard that they're in jeopardy of missing another game. So next week, back at practice now. Close contact. I don't know how many days that is supposed to be, but it was enough to have them not play on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. So the whole should we determined what are we doing day to day, week to week of the NFL is what we see in this situation. And I think there's a ton of people in that league, of course, fingers crossed, as they've hoped the last few days, because I don't know what you do if you now don't have Baltimore and Pittsburgh this week. Is there anything at the end of the season? They don't want to move anything. They should have been just a little bit more flexible and understanding that you might not have been able to run into the playoffs as smoothly as you wanted to, because you were able to get to this point in time without missing a game because of the bye weeks. And you ran out of bye weeks. What are you going to do on the back end just to try and keep everything as fair as possible in such an uncertain and uneven year? And that's the thing that we'll find out. If anything more pops up, because that's a game you definitely don't want to lose. And by the way, Baltimore is still fighting for playoff positioning. Yeah, the Steelers are undefeated. Baltimore needs these games, man. They're on the outside looking in right now.
Who's quarterback for them? Is it Robert Griffin III? Is that what I'm looking at tomorrow afternoon?
Yes.
When I watch my Wednesday afternoon football, because, well, that's what I do. What was the answer? When are the Broncos quarterbacks back? Are they back now? When is their quarantine up? Do you have quarterbacks for next week is my point.
That is the assumption right now, because I have not heard anything stemming from this weekend or going into this week that they wouldn't be available for next week's game. So the close contact issues do not last as long, of course, as positives. But yeah, here we are dealing with the folk hero that is Kendall Hinton, and the questions swirling around the NFL of, you were able to get to this point because you had the bye weeks, because you could move some things around. Well, what do you do now when all those are gone?
Now, this is on the NFL for not building in that extra flex week. For not giving themselves a flag. Well, we're going to get 17 weeks in 17 weeks. We're going to, damn it, we're and they may. They very well may. But they could have made it easier on themselves and given themselves a little bit of wiggle room if they would have had some flexibility and built that into their schedule. And they didn't, and so this is kind of on them. All right, 505-246-0610. I think I got this figured out. 888-922-0610. Emails are in jeff@610knml.com, jj@610knml.com, and I got a bunch of those we'll get to. I want to go through some NFL stuff too. I mean, you got an issue with the Bears now. You know, let's start talking about what they're doing, and you can put them in a position with the Eagles. You can put them. I don't want to say anybody's in a position with the Jets, but there's some real uncertainty about the future and what's going to happen at the top of that organization. So we got to get into the Bears a little bit too. More on Carson Wentz, a little about basketball, a little about football, getting ready to play Wyoming this weekend. So we're here for you with all of that. It's December. Today is December 1st. It is never been more officially holiday season than you can get right now. Time to take care of everything on your list. But gentlemen, don't forget to take care of you. If you're not feeling well, and how are you feeling? Maybe you could be a little bit better. Are you done dealing with lack of energy, low T, erectile dysfunction? I strongly suggest you call NewMail right here in Albuquerque. NewMail is helping thousands of men all over the country take care of themselves and feel better. You just got to pick up the phone and call them at 505-652-1688 or visit NewMail, NUMALE.com. Taking care of yourself and feeling better is easy. The process is comfortable from the phone call through the treatment. Guys, the results are real. NewMail can help with ED, depression, even hair loss. Start the process. Call them at 505-652-1688. As men age, these things are natural. There's nothing to be ashamed of. The beauty of NewMail is you can battle nature. You can feel like you again. That is the perfect gift. Do something special for yourself, fellas. Call NewMail and feel better. 505-652-1688 or visit newmail.com and feel better.
It's okay.
That ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass. Wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3 ball.
Oh, great steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
A whole little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford set. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake, everyone bites. Ramos hits. Jackson loses it. Taylor Bond back, LAU, put it down. Dunkalicious, how about it?
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly, Cardinals fly. To the other side, provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out! See you later. Good night. Touchdown, Webskowski. day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man, touchdown, Wildcats. Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Kowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Clovis.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Rancho late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabbed. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
So they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. There goes. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. Natalia Chavez, good spin. Takes a.
Here's Ramos. Nice jump stop to the.
Maybe gambling a little bit. Oh, there's a.
Hill, little step, high window. And
So football is big in Texas. I think we all know that. But would you say college football or high school football rules the roost when it comes to Texas? What would you say?
I would tell you it's high school football, especially in certain cities and counties.
I would tell you you're right. And if you needed any sort of a, I don't know, an indicator, a validation of that, I direct you no further than to UTEP. By the way, did you see, and I didn't see confirmation on this, did you see Brett McMurphy's report yesterday that the Sun Bowl had been canceled for this year? But no confirmation, because I looked.
I actually saw it as another reporter out of El Paso.
You did?
Too. Yeah.
So that's a done deal, you think? I haven't reached out to Bernie. He's got enough going on. But anyway, UTEP's not been able to play at home because the COVID situation in their city is just so out of control. So they had a game scheduled for whenever it was. And I'm looking at their schedule. It's like so jacked up with cancels and postpones. But UTEP was going to play UAB. They're playing in Midland. They moved all their operations over to Midland, Texas. They're playing in a high school stadium. But they have to play at 11 o'clock in the morning, JJ, because there's a high school game scheduled that night. And let's be very, very clear on what takes precedence in Midland, Texas. It is going to be the high school football that is going to take precedence over the UTEP, the visiting minor football. So they'll play at 11 in the morning, clear out that stadium, and then get to the main event, that high school game, which it is what it is. It reminds me, would you argue it's that way in southern New Mexico? In Las Cruces, what's bigger, high school football or New Mexico State football?
I think at times it's been high school football. And probably all the time.
I don't know what year this was. I'm going to guess, gosh, it's got to be about 8 years ago, because Utah was still in the Mountain West. And it was when I was doing Aggie Vision games. So, in fact, I remember that Thursday night Utah-TCU game, national. It was a big deal. And anyway, I went to the Utah-TCU game on Thursday night, flew back in on Friday, and then got in my car and drove down to Cruces to do. It was going to be Aggies and Hawaii on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Well, I got into town about 7:30. Into Cruces, and it was the night of the Mayfield Las Cruces High School game down there. And the ProView guys, you guys will know how big this is. So that game was played in Aggie Memorial Stadium. JJ, I'm not lying to you. That's about as packed as I've seen it. There were 27,000 people. The place seats 30, but there were 27,000 people in Aggie Memorial Stadium for the Las Cruces Mayfield game, and it was, the atmosphere was insane. And I remember being down on the sidelines going, damn. And one of the New Mexico State guys was there. He's like, yeah, we're trying to lock the gates and give everybody breakfast burrito in the morning and just keep a few of them in, so they have to stay here, because they announced, I want to say, 5,000 people for the Hawaii game the next day, but there were probably 1,500 for the New Mexico State Hawaii game. And I'm like, damn, I was in this place last night. It was rocking, it was banging for a high school game, and here we are. I'm learning all these Hawaiian names, and there's 1,500 people in this place. But that was firsthand. That was one of those where, like, wow, there's places in this country, man, and Las Cruces.
A lot of places, yeah,
where high school football absolutely outplays the college team, and you're seeing that in Midland, Texas as well. But yeah, if you can get down to, and do they play it at the Field of Dreams still, guys, or do they play it at Aggie Memorial Stadium, that Mayfield Las Cruces game? Because that's a deal now. If you get a chance in this state to go to that, like, there's rivalries, and you've got Albuquerque High and Rio Grande or Valley, you've got El Dorado and La Cueva, but that right there, it's got to be the best high school football rivalry in the state, and that place just bounced for that.
Oh, no question. And we hear, at times too, when local football has a game on Thursday or Friday night, and then the frustration of going up against high school football. And sometimes you can't help it, man. You got TV windows, you got things you have to do to move forward. But it's definitely, if your kid or someone is playing, yeah, you're going to go check out those games. And it's one that they almost should have played New Mexico State Hawaii before that high school game,
like the opening act.
Yeah, oh look, we got a D1 college football game. You can come in a little bit early and check out if you'd like, and then we'll play the rivalry.
Your game. Yeah, or back that game up to Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening after the New Mexico State Hawaii game. It's and it's not even just if you have a kid. I mean, in a lot of communities, that's it. That's the community pride. That's their Steelers, man. That's their Lobos. That's their Broncos. That's it. And that's why. Friday Night Lights is a thing, and it's that way in a lot of places. When I was in Washington State, when I worked in Yakima and Tri-Cities, we used to do 15. I put on 15, 16, 17 games a night. We did this thing called Gridiron Express, and went to all the small towns. And I remember going to a town called Touchet. That's right, Touchet. Touchet. The Touchet Indians. They played six-man. I was the first guy who ever put them on the air. Showed up at their place. They played Friday afternoon. And I ended up spending Thanksgivings, no lie, at a family in Touchet, which were some of the best. But dude, they didn't only bake their bread, they grew the wheat to bake the bread. But started putting them on. And it was amazing how some of these towns, you don't know where the place is. You just roll into a town and you see the lights and you just kind of point to. That's why I used to tell photographers, just point towards the lights. You'll get into town, get off the freeway at the exit, and just point towards the lights.
Go towards the lights. And that was one of my favorite things about being able to do high school basketball games is state tournament, and the cities you discover, the fan base. You're like, wait, is the whole town really here in this gym? It might be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the whole town's there. There was what was it? Wapato. Wapato Wolves played in the state tournament. It was there or Toppenish, and they all went to the state tournament, and there was a billboard, last one out of town, turn out the lights. Everybody went over to Seattle or Tacoma or wherever they were playing that state tournament to watch their team play. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Get some NFL stuff for you. Not all COVID related either. Actual NFL stuff on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Got the second. The middle. Here we go. 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's going to swing it out to Lowry. Portillo couldn't get it off, and Clovis. It's waved off. He did not get it off in time. Portillo.
Reverse layup. Spins. Window. Finishes.
There's a run coming from
lazy pass. Here comes Crawford. It might be showtime. Two to shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the long three.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go.
Ford driving kick. Three's in the air. It's good. Nice pass on the nice block by Hernandez Crawford.
And Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalan's going to go and he puts it away. And Corbalan wants to put it down. Here comes Las Cruces. Brown, you can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Gershon in transitions, 3-on-2. Gershon going to go all the way. Whoa, Morgan.
Moreno extra pass. And Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's going to run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
I mean, Ramos' hand.
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
Boy, Jefferson wide open.
Jefferson to Daraji! Into Watson with the jam!
Another steal by Davino Lovato, and here comes Agbaiosi. Lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. Devils is all over the place. Heck about the lob to Agbaiosi, the one-hand hammer.
Put up. And a drive from Parham.
opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores.
Cut into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer from Murillo.
Today. This just came down from the Pac-12. Colorado, Arizona won't play because Colorado does not have the minimum number of scholarship student athletes available for the game due to previously reported COVID issues within the program. So not contesting the game, the Pac-12 says, is very disappointing. And they all want to see their student athletes compete, but the number one priority will be health. So Colorado and Arizona basketball is a no-go, according to the Pac-12. That just came down about within the last minute. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, J. Paul, and Alden. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. There's a lot of, JJ, where there's smoke, there's fire sometimes. And like I said, I haven't talked to Bernie, but the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, according to Mark Schlabach now on ESPN, and this is the second longest bowl. It's been played every year since they started in 1935, shut down this year because of the COVID pandemic. They're talking about an official announcement today. That was going to be a New Year's Eve game. That's on CBS. Obviously, that city has been dealing with just as bad as anybody in probably in the world, but certainly in this country for weeks. El Paso has. They've had mobile morgues and National Guard, and so for 86 straight years, they've been playing the Sun Bowl. This would be the 9th bowl canceled because of COVID as of now. Bahamas, the Celebration Bowl, the Fenway Bowl, Hawaii Holiday Bowl, Motor City Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, and the Red Box Bowls as of now. This was an ACC Pac-12 game. So Pac-12, they've lost the Red Box Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, the Sun Bowl. There's been no announcement on Vegas, JJ. Like the Pac-12 bowls, and it's not like you can just slide them into another game because it's like we've got contract. Everybody's got a you're not bouncing. You can't contractually bounce a Mountain West team out. Well, there's Pac-12 teams available, so you got contracts. So I don't know where all these Pac-12 teams are going to land in regards to bowl games, assuming and bowl season is 18 days away right now. Is when the Frisco Bowl starts off.
Which is just insane to think about. And this is also a time that people thought it was going to be the Wild West for bowl games. Like, everyone is eligible, grab whoever you want, and it's still not that simple because you said there's contracts. You want to fill the slots. You also, you want to have it regionalized but still award teams for winning games this year. And I can just imagine all the stuff that's going through you and all the other bowl directors, trying to keep these games on track. And bowl week is going to be entirely different, and it's usually been a celebration of football, and now it's all right, what's the safest way we can get these teams here, play the game, and get on to next year.
Yeah, and the uncertainty is something that I'm dealing with on a daily basis, and you're doing, we're so close now. We're 23 days away and having to play in a different place. And one of my fears, and this is a personal thing, is we're watching games get canceled every week. What do? You put on a bowl game, you've invested everything, and you've got COVID issues within a team. Can you go get somebody else? But teams who don't get invited are probably going to shut down their operations, or they're going to be ready to go. Our team's going to practice just in case. Maybe stand by because and again, I'm not going to tell you nothing is possible because I'm watching stuff happen that I've never seen before. And another thing I've never seen before is a Sun Bowl not be played. And man, I feel for that community. I feel for Bernie. I know how much he puts into that. When they had to shut down some of his ancillary events, they've got a basketball tournament. They do a run. They do a soccer tournament. What they've done in that community is so good. And Bernie's a good friend. Bernie Olivas, who is Sun Bowl executive director. So just reading that, it hurts your heart, because I know what it means to them. And but again, because it's 2020. 505-246-0610. Edward, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Good morning, Edward.
It is a pleasure and an honor to be on the hotline. You know, we are a dysfunctional family, and as dysfunctional family goes, we know when to pause and reflect. And I could tell in your voice yesterday, Marty Watts called in. I could tell his voice was breaking. Jeffrey said some very nice words about your friend. And I had an opportunity to share that with you yesterday, and I apologize. But that's more important and pressing than anything we talk about is how people have touched our lives. And I just wanted to reach out to you and say I'm truly sorry, and I'm glad that he left his thumbprint on your life, as people do, right? I mean, people come and go into our lives, and we lose people. But what stays impressed in us is that thumbprint that influences us, and I'm truly grateful. As I am for you, I'm truly grateful that you had a chance to spend time with that gentleman. So I want to say that as a friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. You know, you guys know I think the world of you guys. And I didn't know the gentleman, but just the testimonials, they clear to share sentiments as well. So that's, you know, Jeff, I called in March. I went to the state tournament opening night, and then COVID had just started kind of gaining momentum, and things were breaking, and they talked about minimizing the state tournament, and I demonstrated naivety, and I was jokingly saying, well, the flu has more deaths, right? I remember distinctly the call. And then the Mexico State Activities Association took measures, and they did what was probably the best for the community. When I finally realized the depth of this, NCAA tournament canceled last March, and I was like, wow, for them to leave that amount of revenue on the table and say, we're going to take a stride and cancel the NCAA tournament, then I knew this was real. And from a sporting perspective, for the NFL, you know, for what they did this weekend, setting really bad precedents with the Broncos, that was very disappointing. I saw when they made New England board a plane 5 hours before a game without their starting quarterback to go and play. And then I see, you know, the Broncos this weekend, and I see them move the Steelers under different circumstances, but you have to set precedents. My point in saying that is, who cares if you move the Super Bowl date? Who cares if you let an 8th or 9th playoff team in? The NFL fans would love it if you let another NFL team into the playoffs, and nobody got a first-round bye, and you extended the season by a week or two. The networks would love it, and I just think they're almost in a no-win situation. But if you need to move the Super Bowl date, move the freaking Super Bowl date and play it on a Saturday, and have a bubble system. And I just think that you're right. This was a catalytic change in our society. And I think that everything that we know has to be unlearned. Like Yoda said in Star Wars, you must unlearn what you have learned. You must learn new things. And I think that's where we are as a society and as a sports, you know, entity.
I think accept new things.
Jeff, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think accept new things. You've just got to be able to think a different way. You know, if and when we get back to that place, and you want to go back to normal, whatever normal was, and I don't know that we're ever going back to that. We can have that conversation. You've got to be able to think differently. And again, you know, if we're looking for positives, JJ, maybe there are new ways to think things. Maybe you like the baseball playoffs this year. Maybe there's different ways to think about things. I think when you start thinking about moving the Super Bowl, what's the availability of the building? I'm going to guess they're playing in Tampa, right? I mean, do they have a big? What else can be going on in the middle of COVID the next weekend? I'm going to guess they can move it. Now you got hotel dates that you've got to deal with, and television dates and schedules, and it's harder than just moving it, but it's not impossible. And I've been screaming what you said. This would be the year. Play it on Saturday, man. Play it on a Saturday and see what happens.
Completely agree. Anyway, didn't mean to go long-winded as usual, but I appreciate you letting me share my sentiments. You guys have a great day.
See you, JJ. I think everything's on the burner, and to create an extra week wouldn't kill anybody right now. To push everything back now, you're getting late. Now you're messing with TV schedules. You've got networks that carry bowl games and NFL games, right? somewhat got a bowl schedule out there. Those are harder to move because availability of buildings, especially the CFPs, right? You're playing playoff games in NFL stadiums where you've got to start moving schedules around. But is there a buffer week right now in between? There's 2 weeks, right, between the end of the playoffs and the Super Bowl. I mean, there's your week. It always felt like to me, there's your week. Just move the playoffs back 1 week. You got 1 week between playoffs and Super Bowl. Maybe this is the year you need 2. I don't know. But I just always thought they made a big mistake not putting that buffer week in, and they got to figure something out because, by the way, this Ravens-Steelers thing probably isn't the last one we're dealing with.
Yeah, and if anything can be moved and people will be willing to deal with it, it will be the Super Bowl, because regardless if it's played on, like, say, that Sunday or the following Saturday, everyone is still watching. And as Edward said, the NFL playoffs matter, and do whatever you got to do to get there safely, as fairly, and as competitively as you can this season.
Yeah, I just, and again, how, why, I mean, just however you get there, just do it the safe way. I understand, I really do, that this is, priorities to get stuff done, but you got to get done safely. And I think most teams now are going to deal with things the right way within meetings. I think there's always skepticism. I think people are going to wear masks in meetings. I think they're going to get through that. But you're not done having COVID issues. You're just not. You're just, bottom line is you're not. And you're going to continue to see stuff postponed, delayed. But I'll give this to the NFL. If you want me to give them a kudo, they haven't had a game canceled yet. They have not lost a game yet. They're pushing games into Wednesday afternoons, but they have not had a game canceled yet. And they're through week 12, right? I didn't think we'd get here. I didn't. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We got a bunch of emails I got to get to you. What you got to say, I got stuff from yesterday, all kinds of stuff. Coach Jones, the Cowboys stuff. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed.
Ramos wants another.
Opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores. Got into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer from Murillo. Ball's played up. Rodriguez with it. Gonna settle. Looks to the inside. Comes to the far side foot. Shot on in. Goal. Deflected in. No.
Dorian's gonna go all the way. It was blocked by the rim. Get it out, says Kobe Wade. Ramos, get it. Look out. Ramos, can he chase it down? It was a freebie. Saved it. And then stolen. And somehow Hasbury's got it back. Handoff. Watson.
Strip. Galeon stripped him. The Highland the other way. Win up top to the big goal. Here he comes.
For the lead. Got it. What a great game plan. Look at this.
Agbayosi throws it down.
protection. Deep ball, Erickson's open. Touchdown, Monarchs.
Second and 10, Smith. Looking, and he's going to fire over the middle, and he's got his guy, and it's another big play. Walking away for a touchdown, Tristan Altier.
They're going to hand it off to Chavez. Chavez breaking tackles, look out. Chavez up the sideline, stays in bounds. Touchdown, Volcanovic.
That replay,
I got you.
Measurement.
Smith's got a fire on first down, and he's on the outside. There's a lot of room for Brad Thomas. A move, and he's set free. Dance into the end zone. Touchdown. So it goes.
He'll run with it. Stumbling. Gets down into the end zone. And looking to throw it. And he throws it in the end zone. Caught!
First and 10 from the 11. And spin move for Smith. Push the B button. Dance into the end zone.
He'll throw it. Looking. Here comes the rush. Stepping up. Pavia now running around. Being chased. Looks across. Throws it up, man's wide open. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Jimmy Gaye. Chavez dropping, looking, stepping up. He's going to run. He's got a lot of green in front of him. To the end zone. Touchdown. Rio Rancho, Isaiah Chavez. Chavez set. He's going to run with it again and dives and...
We'll have that for you, but no basketball for the Lobos men. The women are going to play. They get Midwestern State, Sam Houston State, and then Prairie View. So they've got some games coming up. Are those games going to be on the radio, JJ? Do you know? Or Micah, do you see those on your schedule anywhere?
To be announced.
Yeah. Okay. Are you? Why are you headed out there to where are we going? Wichita Falls to do those games or something? I'm just asking. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot up in the air. All right. Got a lot of emails to get to you. 246-0610 is how to get in. That's 505-246-0610 if you want to get on the radio. Jeff or JJ at 610knml.com. This came in yesterday. It was from Richard. He said on JJ's Pumpkins. So now not only do guys that look great and feel great have to sit, but if they passed a guy in the locker room, that guy who looks and feels great can't play. What are we doing? It's a little more than that, man. I mean, they sat in a meeting, close proximity, the guy who tested positive to a very contagious disease. They didn't wear their masks. They're getting, in a lot of respects, they're getting punished for not following protocol, right? I mean, JJ, did you feel those guys should have been, all the quarterbacks who didn't test positive, or at least didn't yet, but were with Jeff Driscoll, didn't wear their masks, had to sit in quarantine, and they got basically punished for not wearing their masks?
I understand it. I don't think the NFL still went about the right way of saying this is the team that they're going to punish, especially when in Baltimore. And while it's not players, there's the story is maybe an issue with a coach, like a strength coach, or those working with the players that potentially broke protocol. It's one that if you were able to say push it back a day, you continue to get negative tests. Is that a way where you drop the fines on them and then move forward? Or is this the message that the NFL had to send at this point in time to get it across that says, hey, if you're in these buildings, this is what you have to do?
Yeah, I think if you'd have pushed it back today, I don't know that they'd have been eligible, but it might have given you time to get another quarterback through protocol. And would another quarterback been better than what you saw? Yeah, he's a quarterback as opposed to a practice squad wide receiver. Now, you would have won. But could you have found give me a guy in a scrap heap? I mean, whoever it is, right? I mean, Johnny Manziel. No. All right, somebody who's in shape that recently got cut. A quarterback. But that would have given you time. But this is how it is, man. Bad Street says Lancer's the OD answer, Jeff. Instead of Lance behind center, why not just forfeit that game? Give your guys an extra week to prepare for the Chiefs. You know, because you would have got your paycheck, first of all. First and foremost. All right? If you forfeit the game, you don't get paid. So I'm not sure any of those guys on the Broncos were ready to say, yeah, you know what? I don't want to go out and get smoked, and I'll give up my paycheck. So first and foremost, there's your answer. But I don't know. Would it have been better for them to just say, yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're not playing. You want to do that to us? We're not playing. I mean, aside from the money piece, and which you can't put aside, would that have been better?
Even in a no-win situation, those guys wanted to take the field. They're still competitors, even when we feel like, all right, we have no chance in this game. But what if we do?
What if we do? Yeah. I mean, they're going to do this to us. We're going to do this to them. I don't know if that was ever part of the conversation because, like I said, you're a professional. This is your job. You get paid. And if you say, screw it, we're not playing, you ain't getting paid. You ready to give up 1/16 of your salary? I'm going to guess you're not. I'm not. Carl says, injury time, Jeff. Craig Thompson has to put more time on the clock to get these missed games in, right? It's especially important for a club like Lobos to get in as many games as possible. Once they leave beautiful Henderson, Nevada, it's back to individual workouts and Zoom meetings for the foreseeable future. You can forget about having spring practice. It's from Carl. Spring practice, high school sports. I mean, this all leads into that because I got an email on that. The NMAA said yesterday that high school sports, basketball's not starting on January 4th. Well, really? Okay. Are we just pushing these things back and pushing back to give these kids hope? Addie told me yesterday, she said, my negativity pact, I'm renewing. She's like, I'm just renewing, and because it's Cyber Monday, I renew it for $1. She's like, I'm just negative on everything. My pessimism pact, I think is what she said. Just thinking that there's going to be a season, watching everything. I mean, these kids aren't stupid. Are we giving them false hope? Are we, oh, well, maybe you'll play in February. Oh, we're going to, all right, maybe we'll get the season started in March. Like, I get it. I know why they're doing it. I know, look, we're giving it as much time. Hopefully there's a vaccine and things get better and we're able to play. But are we dragging these kids along falsely? Because maybe we are, but it feels like it's the right thing to do, even though it's cruel and unusual.
Right? Are people being dragged along at this point in time? Yes. But it's what else is there to do? It's you either say we're not doing it at all, or you try to keep that door open and say maybe.
Well, so there was a time where it was said we're not doing it at all, and that was not final. As final as it sounded when the Mountain West, the Pac-12, and the Big Ten said we're not playing football, right? They said we're not playing. The Pac-12 wasn't playing an athletic event the rest of the calendar year. Do you remember that? And then they said, well, so you can say we're done. At least for now, we're done. And go back and say, well, circumstances have changed, and we're going to figure out a way to do it. Now, was that the right way to do it? I don't think it was. I mean, everybody else started playing football at the regular time, and I think those conferences said, oh, damn, what have we done, right? And I think there was just a trigger chain reaction. Let's just cancel, let's just cancel, let's just cancel. So even if you say something's final in the year 2020, nothing's final, correct? And I'm going to say 2020 equals 2021 here pretty soon because we're going into it. To Carl's point, and we've got another email, which talks about it was Rod. He said, "Wasn't it nice of the NMA to let us know yesterday that high school sports won't be starting 1 month from today? When are they going to quit torturing these kids and just cancel the season? I don't know. Is it better to just tell these kids forget it and you got no hope?" And I get the kids aren't stupid, but what if it does get better? Like, this is where I say to you, was it better the way the Mountain West, the Pac-12 did it, or better the way the SEC and the ACC did it, where push, and figure out a way to do it? Now, in this state, I don't know that you're going to be able to find a way to do it. I don't know when the governor's going to allow any sort of high school sports, period. But I don't know, what's the right way to do it? Is it just to tell these kids you're off, forget it, take away all their hope, or to give them this hope and say, but keep pushing it out another month, and just, in his words, torturing these kids? Because it is, by the way. And I don't know the right way to do it. Is it cruel and unusual? Yeah, it is. But is it better just to say, boom, slice it, we're not playing at all, you got nothing to hope for, or, all right, well, hopefully it'll get better in another month. Well, hopefully it'll get better in another month, and we'll try to play. I don't know the answer. I really don't.
There's not a good answer outside of saying we're playing on this date, but we know that's just not possible to have an exact, this is the time, this is the place where it's going down because of the uncertainty. And we've all seen it. We've all been dealing with it in the state of New Mexico. And it's like you said, false hope of maybe, just maybe, but you see the writing on the wall. And I can only imagine, man, what your daughter's going through, what the other student athletes are going through. It absolutely sucks at this point in time and stinks. But I'm kind of with you. It's just, do what you can, as tough as it's going to be, to try to get something in.
Yeah, and they're not dumb now. I mean, like these kids are hoping to play, but like I told you, she renewed the pessimism pact, and I can't argue with her. She's like, Dad, I'm just tired of being disappointed. I'm just, nothing's going to happen. And I can't sit here and tell her any different. And you can't, and the coach can't, and the teachers can't, and here's another trimester of up in the spare bedroom, right? And no competition. And this is where it's killing these kids. They're watching it happen in every other state, especially these kids who feel that they're at a level where they might be able to play college athletics, and they lose their senior season. And so many have gotten that opportunity because of a senior season. And, you know, one of the reasons college football is played, not the only reason, certainly money, television, but the exposure that these student athletes get in their last season of football. Was Khalil Mack a senior when he came out? Because you never heard of Khalil Mack before his final year in college. You sure as hell never heard of Joe Burrow, who was the first overall pick in last year's draft. He played himself from a maybe 6th round pick, maybe, into the first overall pick in the draft in his senior season. You know, that's what these they can be life-changing. And that's what they're holding on to, some sort of hope. 505-246-0610. You can watch the show on ProViewNetworks.com or on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. And there's a replay every day on Comcast Channel 26, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you haven't got enough of us now, you can turn on your Comcast Channel 26 and see Micah's lifeguard sweatshirt that he got at Venice Beach. And say, oh, look at these 5 idiots. What one? I see.
We have a lifeguard on duty.
Yeah,
we're good to go.
Don't you feel better now? I do too. Hey, think about this. Someone's watching your home. Someone's watching your business. If a criminal wants to break in, they notice when you come and go. What do you think about International Protective Service, IPS? It's the security company I trust and have trusted for years to watch my home. When you can't be there, Aaron's highly trained armed guards can be the eyes that protect your home or your business. They've got on-site guards or 24-hour patrols. Bad guys then cannot predict the good times to target you, your home, or your business. If you're going out of town, maybe you've got a staycation, the holiday season, you're just going to go somewhere for a few days. They'll watch your home, pick up the newspaper, pick up the mail, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back, give your home that lived-in look, and stop bad guys before they hit. Don't be a target. Don't be a victim. The holiday season, you're going to have packages on the curb. Call IPS. Protect what's important to you. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, International Protective Service, committed to making Albuquerque a safer place to live and do business.
Right now we're seeing extra congestion east and westbound on Highway 550 in Bernalillo.
A lot of room. Look out. A foot race down the sideline. All the way on the first play from scrimmage, Chris. That's a touchdown.
Great hit, he bounces off outside. Got some daylight at the 20, the 10, the 5. What an incredible run.
house. Rise and fire. He's fouled.
You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And
Here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. BC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku. Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam on home.
I'll just get a little closer.
Oh, instead it's a gorgeous pass.
Here's what
Gonna just shoot it.
He's going to go all the way.
He's gonna fire at the buzzer and he hits.
Great pass, Hadbury, and thank you very much.
Tie in the district. Inside. Fly. Eagle.
Chavez uses some athleticism. And then Morris down low, able to finish. You called it, Steve, in 10 seconds. And look at this. Stripped, stolen Watson. Kristen Lucero beats the buzzer. Here's Ian Chavez, the sharpshooter. Got it.
Said that any better. He answered the question. He
On
got
a
another
steal
one.
at the buzzer. Back to back for Chavez.
Over the paint. Medina from the volleyball lines. Medina wants another one from deep. Oh, he wants 10. Give him 10.
Lewis finds Watson. He's going to finish. One-handed slam. And Ovista, but just all the different scenarios we could see potentially play out ahead of the state tournament.
Played over to Madrid. Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot on by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With this first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Quarterbacks didn't sit in the quarterback room, but he played quarterback once at Wake Forest. So it's the same thing. That 7th-round pick, well, ours is a 7th-round pick, their receiver, who now they had to make a quarterback, is the same as throwing Ben DiNucci out there. What does that tell you about? Like, if you're Ben DiNucci, aren't you just going, really?
You're like, what did I do, Jerry? I tried my best. You picked me. I had to play quarterback. It didn't work. So be it. But now I'm a practice squad wide receiver?
How freaking delusional does Jerry Jones have to be to somehow think that he was in the same boat with a quarterback? Ben DiNucci is a quarterback. You threw him out there. You drafted him as a quarterback. You practiced him as a quarterback. He went through camp as a quarterback. He sits in the room as a quarterback. Somehow that is the same as some guy you pulled off a practice squad who's a receiver who once played quarterback. I'm sorry. If you're looking for signs that the man is becoming delusional, I don't know how you look at that and say, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, Jerry's right. We were just as much disadvantaged when we played Ben DiNucci. No, Ben DiNucci is not very good at quarterback, but he is a, what? Say it with me. Quarterback. God bless it. I mean, what am I missing there?
No, you're just missing Jerry trying to make himself the story like, oh, what was me, Denver? We played Ben DiNucci. Well, that was, yeah, he's a quarterback. I was trying to think of any other situation like this where we're talking professional sports. Dude's so out of position that has to play. And yeah, we've seen position players pitch in like crazy games, but not in a situation where it's like the game is on the line. And
I'll give you one.
Is there anything?
I'll give you one, and it doesn't compare because quarterback is the most difficult, important position in sports. Do we agree on that? It's harder than being a goalie in hockey or soccer. It's quarterback, all right? But in the 1980 NBA Finals, when the Lakers didn't have a center and a rookie point guard named Magic Johnson played center out of position, but it doesn't compare.
How tall is Magic Johnson?
Well, he's 6'9", right? But yes. So you got a rookie point guard playing center out of position, but again, it can't compare to this because there is nothing that's like quarterback. How different is point forward? Yeah, look, it's basketball. We all got to play defense. We all got to do relatively the same thing. Quarterback and wide receiver are very, very different positions. I don't think there is anything like it simply because of the uniqueness of that position.
You can't have it. It's totally different. It would be the position player starting the game, not coming in the 17th inning.
And it would have to be a pitcher, right? It would have to be a pitcher starting the game because
player out there on the mound, like, oh no.
Reggie Jackson came in to pitch.
So we need you to pitch the game. There's nothing like it because even that goaltender who played, it was like the equipment guy. Like he was
they pulled out of the stands, the Zamboni driver. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he knew how to play goalie.
You know what though? That's actually close. That's closer than Magic because at least that guy was a goaltender. Now he was an old guy that was driving like his 40s, right? And he was driving a Zamboni, and he was out of shape, and that's close. That's close. Mike, you got something?
So someone just called and said Walter Payton had to play quarterback for a little bit back in the 80s.
Okay. I don't remember that, but then that's there you go. This is you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go. I mean, the Lobos have probably been down to a receiver, right? Weren't they over the last years with all the quarterback injuries they had? Didn't they have a couple receivers taking snaps?
It was almost possible on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think Connor Janal was ready to go, and we'll find out more today on that quarterback situation.
Yeah, and hopefully Tavaka's going to be able to go. Jerry is. I mean, you're a Cowboy fan. Do you buy that? I mean, was Ben DiNucci the same as, what was your boy's name? Hinton? What's the guy's name that played for you the other day? What's his name? The quarterback. Who? Kendall Hinton? Yeah. Is that the same, JJ or Micah?
No, not at all.
Like at least you have a quarterback, even though he's a really bad quarterback, but he gets it. He's like, all right, snap, handoff, throw. Kendall Hinton was like, snap, run for his life, throw it down.
Chuck it and pray. Yeah, I just, you had a guy has been in the quarterback room since camp, right? He's been studying your book. He knows what you want out of quarterback. He's a effing quarterback. Like how do you sit there and go, we were in the same position when we had to play our 7th round pick, Ben DiNucci. Come on now. Really?
And you know that when
you would have loved Ben DiNucci on Saturday. You'd have loved to have Ben DiNucci.
Cooper Rush, absolutely. What fascinates me about what Denver had to do on Sunday is, how do you even call plays? Like, what do you do at that point in time?
He had a wristband.
Your whole playbook's out the window. It's like, all right, we're going to have a zone read, a couple handoff to the left, handoff to the right, and we'll call this play chuck and pray. It's like you have like 3 things to choose from the entire game. And it's pretty much back to all of us playing football at the park. You just get in the huddle and they're like, all right, you run a post, you run a cross, I'll try to hit you right here. Break.
All right, so 11, 12 years old, I'm playing flag football. We're in an all-star game. And our quarterback goes out, and I'm quarterback. And this was, coaches didn't call the quarterback. And these were our plays. Dude, I distinctly remember the plays. All right, reverse to Mikey on one. Ready? And so I ran left and handed off to Mikey, and then he ran, and we ran reverse. And I got popped in the face. Oh, all right, I'm in. Next one, bomb to Barton. Barton was our receiver on the left side. I threw a bomb. And then it was a hitch to Mikey. That was our plays. I can see your boy, what was his name again, Kendall Hinton? All right, I'm going to run your way. I'm running right. I'm
right. Because he's probably at the line of, like, you can play quarterback in college at least, so you have an understanding. But you take that snap, you have the New Orleans Saints defense across from you. You're like, you're just looking around going, 54 is the mic, 54 is the mic. The offensive line's like, what? No, that's the defensive end. What are you doing?
But it's I heard it on TV. Omaha! Exactly. Green 42! Green 19! Green 19! Oh, I don't know.
Banana spiders.
I heard Peyton say that once. Rogers always says, Green 19! Green 19! Yeah, just yell stuff. All right, and hike. I'm running right. It's just brutal. You'd have loved to have Ben DiNucci. You would have paid to have Ben DiNucci.
Where is he? Probably selling deli meats now. I don't know. Where has Ben DiNucci?
Is he still on the roster? He's got to be. I mean, maybe he got cut. I don't know. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Ben DiNucci is the same as Kendall Hinton. No, Jerry, he's not. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't miss Lowe's Pro
The New
Vember.
Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the 3, and he buries it.
Could be coming in soon. Double kick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a
Around the screen, against White, step back, it's blocked! JB with the block!
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hito puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Luscious. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
second field goal. He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A three for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing,
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, they're going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack. Domina Lovato up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here.
Ben DiNucci is still on the roster, third string behind Andy Dalton and Garrett Gilbert. I think, why couldn't the Broncos get him on loan? I mean, since, everything's going soccer these days, can't they? Oh, on loan. He's on loan from the Dallas Cowboys for the week, Ben DiNucci. Then the United loaned a goalie to Reno this year, right? And they were like the best team in the league, right? On loan, just so we could play, right?
It makes a ton of sense. Like, you know what? We don't have an opportunity to play this guy. You want to get him some reps, some opportunity. Send him off. He's still your player. Just playing for someone else. The NFL should have thought of that. Broncos could have used a ton of guys on loan this
year. Yeah, in this year of 2020. I mean, yes. Jeff sent me a text. He said in junior high, and 1 year in Yaffle, we really did have a quarterback. I was it. Running back to quarterback. I didn't realize we were running the Wildcat. Coaches got pissed. My calls in the huddle. Best plan, no plan. Everyone go out. Just you go out. Everyone go out. I ran it or threw it 5 to 10 yards every time. Was undefeated in Yaffle in junior high 7-1. See? Who needs plays? Who needs to be calling red banana hooky square? Yeah. Yeah, just go bomb to Barton, reverse to Mikey. I'm just telling you, man, those were our plays. Just flip the ball out to your best player and let him run. Oh, wait.
So Tony Romo is the best broadcaster, right? If like Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are calling that game and you're like, hey, Tony, you want to come suit up for a game? Is he the best option on the market?
I mean, how long's he been out? 4 years? 3 years? He's been out a while, dude. I mean, how old is he now? 30? He's got to be close to 40, doesn't he? Mike, how old's Tony Romo?
You should know these things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're all sitting in front of a computer that we can Google.
Someone look it up.
Yeah, somebody look the damn thing up. Who would be your best guy? I mean, where's Johnny Football these days? J. Pole was saying... Well, I mean, the obvious one, J. Pole was saying, where's Colin Kaepernick?
Like, I mean, that would have been totally one, like, fly him in, land him at noon, drive him to the stadium, go for it. Like,
all right, but here's why you couldn't do that, and this is why they got caught, and this is why they wanted an extra day. The COVID protocols did not allow them to bring another player into their controlled environment because they had to be tested X number of times. And when this all went down the day before, they didn't have time to go outside and get it. That's why on loan from somebody else who's testing would have worked in this year of COVID. But look, if Cap hasn't been asked to go play for somebody,
he's not playing.
It's not happening, man. If it didn't happen in this environment where you need players, where Lamar Jackson's down for the Wednesday afternoon tilt, what the hell is that? And Robert Griffin III is playing instead, and it's not happening, man. We watched Kendall Hinton play quarterback. I've watched Ben DiNucci and Brandon Allen and Ryan Findlay and Jake Luton and Mike Glennon. Shall I go on? These were all starting quarterbacks in the National Football League this year in the last couple of weeks. If it hadn't happened now, it's not happening.
2 minutes.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My thing was just talking about like the broadcast crew in the stadium. I think Tony Romo, you're like, you want to come play quarterback? I think Tony Romo, because you're confident Troy Aikman, I think he might. I don't know how his knees are holding up these days. Brian Greasy.
Troy Aikman.
Where's Dan Fouts at? His CBS call somewhere.
I'd rather go with Dan Orlovsky. Orlovsky looks like he could play a little bit. Mike Vick looks like he can play when I see him on TV. Orlovsky does. Jeff said, there's got to be an arena quarterback around. But again, you got to get all these guys to the COVID thing. I mean, but if you have 3 days, to your point, let's say you have 3 days, in 3 days, all my quarterbacks are out. I got to grab someone and get them in here. who's the latest off of the scrap heap to do that? And I don't know. I mean, where's Chris Winkie? Is he around?
Eli Manning.
Mannion? Eli Manning. Ooh, Eli. He's only 1 year removed?
Yeah.
Eli would have been that's good. Yeah.
Manning connection.
The Manning connection.
Yeah, the Manning connection. Is Mark Brunell still available? He's only got to be like, what, 50?
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
How about Peyton? Look, if I'm one of those guys, I'm not going out to get killed either. By the way, if it was a good team, I'd consider it. And if it's the Broncos, you're going, hell no. Right? Honestly. What chance do I have? Yeah, Brett Favre's always ready to go.
Yeah.
Brett Favre's always ready to go.
He's got copper fit. He's good.
1 minute.
Yeah. Makes an old man young again.
Him and Jerry Rice. Sign them together.
Lamar Jordan. Where's Austin Apodaca?
He would have been.
Huh? Austin Apodaca. How about, okay, so there's got to be a list of Canadian League quarterbacks. Since they canceled the CFL, there's got to be a whole list of CFL quarterbacks ready to go, right? Guys that are probably in decent shape that you could have called. At least you'd have had a damn quarterback.
Or AAF guys like P.J. Walker.
Yeah, P.J. Walker started a game this year. Colin Kaepernick didn't. 505-246-0610. We're getting off of scrap heap quarterbacks and going to the best candies. No, we're not. I'm kidding. Unless you want to. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 670 Sports Animal and ProView Networks. Butterfinger, baby.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, head up off the middle, got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
Option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds, into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Portel.
The outside of running an out route.
Davis sending a play action, looking. He's going to go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown. So Davison back to toss, and he's got all day. Makes one miss, and he's rolling. He's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
We told you he could spin that
Touchdown.
football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the wind at his back, but
Segura.
Forward dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass, wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3-ball.
Oh, great steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
A little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake, everyone bites. Ramos hits. Jackson loses it. David Bond back, alley-oop, put it down. Dunkalicious, how about it?
Damn, Alden did his research during the break, and he's like Mark Sanchez or Andrew Luck is out there. Brock Osweiler, Matt Castle. I came up with Ryan Lindley, Matt Leinart, DeMarcus Russell. He's a great player. Deal with it. David Fales is out there somewhere. See? Would have been it would have been. What could have been? It's the opening drive. What's good, y'all? Happy December. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Alden, J. Pole, what do you know? J. Pole, what do you know? I could change the tune on that if you like a different tune for you. I could make it a little bit more, whatever you want. 2460610 is how to get in today. We're talking about Jerry Jones comparing his situation with Ben DiNucci to the Broncos' no quarterback situation. Has there ever been anything like it? Anything ever like it where a team goes into a game without, there's not a more important position at quarterback, and there's been backup quarterbacks and third-string quarterbacks, but that, like where you have no chance. Let's go to the phones. Howard, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. How you living?
My question is, how do you structure DeMarcus Russell's contract? Do you give him a base salary and then give him coupons to Dunkin' Donuts or buffet coupons as incentives, or what do you do?
Well, Golden Corral.
Didn't he eat himself out of the NFL?
He did a lot out of the NFL, but I think a Cheesecake Factory gift card would be great incentive.
Dude, Cheesecake Factory's bomb. Their Chinese chicken salad is the best.
We are on the right track there with the Cheesecake Factory, guys. Hey, how about Joe Namath? Can't we get him on loan from the Medicare commercials?
I just want to kiss you.
I don't know. But anyway, and keep thinking, you get Coach Gonzalez on, when you're talking about the cadences that they call, let's put our own little New Mexico spin on things. Let's go MLG, 19 red, 26 green, counties out there.
Orale.
We'll give a...
Yeah, orale. It's all sick, bro.
But you know what? Very interesting what's going on in the NFL right now, and I'm beginning to wonder as things start to unravel somewhat. And then I don't know if you paid any attention to Edwards' little note there on the text about Ravens players being a little disgruntled about playing. I hadn't heard anything about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of discontent in camps where COVID is prevalent and they're having to reschedule games and guys are worried. And I'm just wondering if this season is going to get in the books or not, and I kind of think it will, but I think it's going to be a turbulent end. What do you guys think on that one?
Yeah, it could be a limp to the finish. I don't see it getting better, and we're watching it getting worse every single week. So I mean, why would we think it's getting better? It's just not. And so yeah, I think we're in for some more drama.
Yeah, and it really kind of, it's so unusual. We have a Wednesday afternoon game at 3 o'clock. My DVR is full, and I'm going to need to DVR The Price is Right. I mean, what the heck, Yeah, I either watch The Price is Right or watch the game. I don't know what to do here, guys, but you know what? I'll ponder on it, and I'll make a decision. Have a great day, guys.
First world problems, JJ. That's what I tell people all the time. I got first world issues. Do I watch the Ravens Steelers on my phone or DVR The Price is Right? What do I got? I got first world issues. New Mexico audibles would be good, though. I know, huh? Okay, that dude right there, he's the mic, no? I know, it's all crazy, bro. Check, orale. It'd be awesome. New Mexico audibles. Hello, Grady. Northern New Mexico audibles are even different than the rest of our state. What's up?
Future NFL backup QBs of the OD and the AM. What's happening?
I don't know, man. I really don't.
Well, I guess that makes at least two of us. So, I want to touch base on the whole NMAA thing, and like you, Jeff, I'm a parent of a high school athlete, kind of in limbo, and I can tell you again, at least from my perspective and a lot of the perspectives up north, up here in Pecos, is the kind of let's push it back. Oh, wait, let's do that. Yeah, it is torturous, and yeah, it is hard on them. But on the other side, I think it's a little bit better than just ripping off the Band-Aid. And here's why. A lot of these kids are struggling mentally. We've heard struggling academically. The NMAA, they changed their eligibility rules already, and who knows, they may do it again at the semester. And a lot of the change, at least some of the turnaround that you heard about, was when the coaches started getting some of these kids together, when coaches were able to get the kids together for off-season workouts, for team meetings, etc. Things started to change. There was a notable uptick in academic performance. Yeah. And I can tell you again, in our little village and in my household, once these boys were able to do off-season workouts, oh man, the first one, we got to wear masks, we're only in pods, four players to one coach. And after about two of those, it was like, okay, I'm excited to go to practice. They're excited to be out there. So if you being the NMAA, if you just say, okay, that's it, we're shutting things down, then how would a school district or whomever justify those types of activities of getting the kids together, getting them organized, just getting them moving? And the benefit of those was really what I'm getting at. It's a little bit more than just prepping for a season. It's giving a lot of these kids an outlet that they didn't have. It's giving these kids an outlet to where hopefully it can improve their academic performance. Hopefully it can improve their outlook a bit. So if you just rip that away, then you're doing more than just, well, okay, sorry kids. I think there's a little bit more involved. I think there's a little bit more going on. These kids aren't college kids. They're not professionals. So there's more tied to it, because 99% of these kids aren't doing anything athletically after their high school years, period. We all know that. So
I think I agree with you. Yeah,
I think there might be a little bit more involved with that. So,
well, Grady, you know what I saw too. I think you're right. Just giving them something, even if in the back of their minds they believe that there's not going to be a season, just something, a little bit of hope. And I agree with you. When there were limited workouts, it started out, yeah, gosh, we're running in mass, but just excited to be out there, be with people, doing something, and doing something that might have a reason to it.
Yeah, I saw the change in my house, so I'm sure
Me too.
That it has happened. Well, anyway, real quickly, let's not start the candy talk again. All right? I've already had to jump in and save my guy JJ once. JJ, I got your back, man. Let's just keep moving forward.
Got you.
Appreciate the time, gentlemen.
See you. Grady called at 505-246-0610 or 888-922-0610. I think he's right. Just to, not rip the Band-Aid off and give him and give a reason to go out and do something, even if they think the season's not going to happen. At least there's workouts. I think there's a benefit to that. All right, keep getting in on that, because I want your thoughts on that. Is it better for the NMA to rip off the Band-Aid or just keep extending this deadline? Extending it out. All right, we're going to delay it another week. Extend it another week. 505-246-0610. We're on ProView Networks, and the opening drives on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Join us for your favorite.
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's going to walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side, provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out! See you later. Good night. Touchdown, Webskowski. An 8. 2 receivers at the top. Harris has all day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man. Touchdown. Wildcat. Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Webskowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Clovis.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Deckerman. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's Krebs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. Gallegos. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. Natalia Chavez. Good spin. Takes a.
Here's Ramos. Nice jump stop to the.
Maybe gambling a little bit. Oh, there's that.
Hill, little step, high window with a.
Got the second.
To the middle.
Here we go. 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's going to swing it out to Lowry. Lowry. Portillo couldn't get it off, and Clovis.
There he goes in.
It's waved off. He did not get it off in time. Portillo.
Reverse layup.
Gallegos spins. Window finishes.
There's a run coming from
Lazy pass. Here comes Crawford. It might be showtime. Sam. To shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the long three.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go. His
Ford driving kick. Three's in the air. It's good.
Nice pass on the.
According to Jerry Jones, you got to be kidding me. We're not doing that again. It's the opening drive. Jerry Jones says Ben DiNucci was just like having a practice squad receiver at quarterback. Yeah, okay. 505-246-0610. Come on in. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Micah. Lobos in Wyoming, or Lobos versus Wyoming in Las Vegas. I mean, of course, on Saturday. What time's post time? Is that game? That's the night game, right? That's been moved to the evening. Is that right?
Opted. It's 8:30 kickoff. So the first mainland late game for the Lobos this season.
Yeah, and that was moved because it was going to be in the earlier window, but is it a game in San Diego, a California game, where there's a curfew that all non-essential activities need to be done before 10 o'clock in California, and so to get that in and to move that, they had to swap those TV windows in, well, because it's 2020. And so Wyoming comes in. I think Wyoming's got the best running back in the league. Do you think Xavier Valladay is the best? Because I don't think the guy from Nevada's better. I mean, you're shaking your head. Who do you think's better?
Ronnie Rivers.
Who?
Ronnie Rivers.
From Fresno?
Yep, Fresno.
I don't know. I like Valladay a lot.
Yeah, I think those.
They got a running game now.
Great conversation between those two, and it's always impressive. Like when you look at a team like Wyoming. Levi Williams has done an admirable job. Their backup quarterback coming in after Sean Chambers broke his leg in the first quarter. He can make some throws. They're not very dynamic, but what they do is they line up and they just run the football like crazy. And by the way, Valladay was a little bit banged up, so Smith came in, still ran for like 130 yards against UNLV.
Defensively, Wyoming's good. Offensively, they move the ball. Like this is a challenge. This is the toughest challenge they've had in a couple of weeks. So you think? I mean, they played Air Force and they played Utah State. In both those games, we sat here during the week and said, all right, I think they got a pretty good chance. This is a better football team than those two that they're playing.
It is, and if you're worried because you look at what Air Force did, yeah, I get it's triple option, but still a lot of that was just fullback dive right up the middle, and this is what Wyoming is going to do is the same thing, just power football right up the middle.
Without the option piece to it. I mean, there's a zone read piece to it, but it's not going to be, you're not worried about the triple, which I think is something fair. What are you showing me, dude? Read it to me. Miami drops its, what is that?
Miami drops its vice versa alternate uniforms. It just looked cool. Just trying to show you guys.
Okay, it did look cool. I was like, what are you showing me? Lobos have to have Tavaka, don't they? They've just got to have Tavaka. I'm looking at you. Got to end this thing on a positive. You're trying to find positives. I think you're playing two decent teams as the season ends with Wyoming and Fresno State. There's got to be some sort of a positive, and I think for them to have that positive, Tavaka's a big part of it.
Well, to have any chance offensively, Tavaka can make some plays downfield. Wyoming is so good defensively. I think that Wyoming team is something that Danny would like to look like, because they're not as a team that's under center as much. And they kind of spread it out when they had Chambers, but still, they play from the shotgun. To your point, there's some of those zone read elements, quicker passing game. So I really think when you look at what Craig Bull has done defensively, which has been the best thing outside of San Diego State or Boise State in this league over the last few years, and the fact that that is the team in the league right now that you play them. And I think that's a mindset Danny talks about all the time, right? Is we want you to know regardless of what happens, that you don't want to play us, you don't want to be on the field with us in that fourth quarter, and that's kind of who Wyoming has been the last couple of years.
All right, and Bill just sent me a story that Valladay's hurt and uncertain, and so but again, they keep running guys. I think Valladay's terrific. Do you catch a break? I guess if he's not there, yeah, I think you probably do. But they're going to keep running him at
he
right?
took. I think it was actually on a pass play. He was coming across the middle, and he took a low hit to the leg. He was struggling on the sidelines, and they were in control of that game, so they didn't need to rush him back. Because I think he had like 4 carries for 90 yards, and there was like a 70-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. And they're like, yeah, I think we're okay.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610 if you want to get into the Lobos. We'll get an idea today, later today, who's going to play quarterback. Craig Bull said Monday, that's the coach of Wyoming, he didn't have info. It was an MRI that was being done on Valladay's left leg, so they were supposed to have more information. But again, left in the second quarter and had a leg injury. So it's iffy whether or not he's going to play, according to the Wyoming media. So we'll watch. That's a team that's going to run the ball at you and run the ball at you and run the ball at you. This is Richard on Utah State game. He says, Jeff, you take the struggling Lobo football program, make them play without the support of cheerleaders and chaparrals, no band, not even the best sideline reporter in the business, Edward Abraham James. It was any wonder it was a recipe for disaster in Logan? I'm not sure they have their fans and their cheerleaders either, though, right? So
there was a chance there was the same number of Lobo fans as there were Utah State fans in that game. There were a lot of Lobo families that were able to go to the game because there's a couple Lobo connections. So some of the Lobo players, I guess they each got 2 tickets to this game. So they were able to kind of pass them along to the guys that might have had bigger extended families in Utah.
James is unhappy about the women's basketball schedule. Jeff, can we talk about the Phillies? All these squads around the country looking for games, and the best the Lady Lobos could do was Midwestern State, Prairie View A&M, and Sam Houston State. Wasn't Timbuktu State available? Nowhere Tech already booked? Somewhere Bliss and Davalos are jealous of this schedule. It's from James. This was the point. They were going to play a schedule to get ready. They weren't going out and playing Texas Tech and Oklahoma. Not that I think those schools want to play them. But this was kind of the point of going out there. At least they're playing games, man. I mean, Lobo men aren't playing. The Aggie men are playing Benedictine Mesa and Arizona Christian. Lobo men are playing nobody as of now. And the women are playing Midwestern State, Prairie View A&M, and South Sam Houston State, not necessarily in that order. This is kind of what the whole idea was, to go out, and they didn't have any practice, and so this is kind of their practice, their scrimmage to get ready. I don't know if it's going to help them, if it's not going to help them. But yeah, I see, the frustration of the common person who says, and I'm not saying common person, the person who doesn't know exactly what's going on within the program, saying, well, they're around all these big programs. Why can't they play TCU? Why aren't they playing Texas? They're all looking for games. There's a reason.
Well, are they? Because while we've seen a lot of games canceled, you also see things moving along with a lot of these MTEs, Bubbleville that happened over the weekend. How about Villanova losing to Virginia Tech, but the fact they agreed to that game 2 days prior because they were in the same place. And they're like, hey, you want to play on Saturday? Sure, let's go play this game and run it back. It's a mindset of you don't want to open the season with Boise State when you've only had 10 days of practice. You don't want to open the season with your quote unquote, using a football term, money game. You want to be able to build yourself up, get some games under your belt, and go. And that's what the Lobo men and women are looking to do right now.
Yeah. And they're just trying to go. By the way, we haven't talked about this. Did you see the West Coast Conference, by the way, is not just about Gonzaga. And it's not just about Gonzaga and St. Mary's, or even Santa Clara now and then. The University of San Francisco was better last year. Did you see what they did this weekend? The University of San Francisco beat Virginia, the 4th-ranked team in the country. USF beat Virginia. A team that won a national championship 2 years ago was ranked 4th in the country. West Coast Conference is getting some better balls, and USF has been a program on the rise the last couple of years.
Pepperdine taking UCLA to 3 overtimes. I think UCLA, that game they played Wednesday night against San Diego State, you probably should have swapped the numbers. And I think the Aztecs are the better team going in
no doubt
to the season than UCLA, but still that's an impressive victory for the Aztecs. And you just imagine if that arena was full, how UCLA would be feeling about that performance. And by the way, I want your thoughts. I actually really like Terrell Gomez coming off the bench for the Aztecs. And you kind of just assumed, oh, the transfer coming in, he's going to be their starting point guard. Because all of a sudden you have, if you're San Diego State, this really good 6th man, all about the offense, coming in to ignite a team that looked better. I thought they would be pretty good, but, with some of the questions about Malachi Flynn, et cetera, better than I expected.
I thought the Aztecs looked really good, beating UCLA the other night. They were deep. Gomez is a shooter. I think matchups are going to be an issue, and how are they going to defend with him out there is a real issue. He's 5'7", 5'8"-ish, but he can pump it. He missed his first bunch of shots and then hit some big ones in the second half. I thought Shackle was really good in that. I think Matt Mitchell is terrific. And then you just watch what they're doing, and a rope has gotten better. The big guy, the big transfer that they got from Maryland, played well. And they seem to get a graduate transfer from a power school who doesn't play much at that school for his 5th year and get the most out of him, it feels like, every year. I thought San Diego State looked so much better than I imagined they would. They did. Now, granted, UCLA was shorthanded, but they dismantled UCLA.
It's still all right. Hill was out, but you still had the majority of your returning players from last season for the Bruins, and San Diego State was in control of that game, for pretty much the entire contest, which is really impressive. And your point on Arope, I liked how they started him because of what that gave them defensively. Now, Mensa back, you have that last line of defense, and Arope is a dude that can kind of guard almost 1 through 4 all over the floor, give you that length and that athleticism. I think that's what helped them then, having a piece like Gomez to kind of pick and choose where you want to try to ignite that offense and still get that defensive effort and intensity that you expect of the Aztecs.
A lot of Mountain West teams are playing basketball. Lobos are still trying to figure out when their first game is going to be. It will not be this week against Boise State. Hey, stuck at home? You can take home with you, get an RV loan from Kirtland Federal Credit Union and get the adventure started today. Rates are amazing. The process is easy. Travel trailers, pop-ups, fifth wheels, drivable RVs, and luxury motorhomes. Kirtland Federal Credit Union finances them all. Just click and apply online at kirtlandfcu.org/RV. That's kirtlandfcu.org/RV. Apply online for fast pre-approval or tell the dealership, I want to finance with Kirtland Federal Credit Union, and drive away that day. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, they are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender federally insured by the NCUA.
Moreno extra pass, and Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's gonna run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
Ramos' hand.
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
Boy,
Jefferson wide open.
Jefferson to Daraji. Into Watson with the jam.
Far with the ball. Again.
Another steal by Davina Lovato. And here comes Agbaiosi. Lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. The lob, tag by Osi, the one-hand hammer.
Put up. And a drive from Palm.
Opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores.
Cut into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer from Murillo.
Ball's played up. Rodriguez with it. Gonna settle. Looks to the inside. Comes to the far side push. Shot on and goal. Deflected in. No.
Dorian's gonna go all the way. It was blocked by the rim. Get it out, says Kobe Wade. Ramos, got it. Look out. Ramos, can he chase it down? It was a freebie. Saved it. And then stolen. And somehow Hasbury's got it back. Handoff. Watson.
Get it stripped. Galeon stripped him. Come Highland the other way. Win up top to the big ball. Here he comes.
For the lead. Got it.
What a great game plan. Look at this.
Agbaiosi throws it down.
Melfi can cash it in. He's got some protection. Deep ball. Erickson's open. Touchdown, Model.
Did, but you don't. You get it tomorrow afternoon, National Football League. Are we doing that game? Do we know? Are we carrying that? All right, we'll let you know as we're reshuffling as we go on the fly, too. It's the Ravens and the Steelers. It's 1:40, 1:30, 1:40 tomorrow afternoon, Mountain Time. Wednesday afternoon football. Set your phones and go. All right, Bronco news. 3 Broncos quarterbacks have tested negative. They will return Wednesday to eligibility. Brett Rippon, Blake Bortles, and Drew Lock will be able to get back into the swing for the Denver Broncos. So Wednesday, eligibility is back for Drew Lock, Brett Rippon, and Blake Bortles. They were deemed high risk, close contacts to Jeff Driscoll. Driscoll's positive, so he is not eligible. But at least you should have a quarterback, JJ. There's the answer to the question that we've been asking. It will not be Ben DiNucci on loan from the Cowboys, or Kendall Hinton. Is that his name?
Kendall Hinton.
Good God. Who's going to go down?
A legend in Broncos country now.
To whom did he complete his one pass?
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant. Yeah. Did you know that, Micah? You were almost ready. I saw you leaning into that mic. I saw it. Other stuff, the Sun Bowl, according to sources, Mark Schlabach reported this morning, off for the first time since 1935. 1935, they started the Sun Bowl down in El Paso. They played it every single year. JJ, this is odd. It's unprecedented. I don't know if people realize, we've been taking a little bit and certainly had to give explanations about the New Mexico Bowl moving to Frisco. Did you know the Rose Bowl was played in Durham, North Carolina in 1942?
I did not.
It's not like it's never happened. Look, this is a year where we just watched an NBA final between Los Angeles and Miami be played in Texas. I'm sorry, be played in Florida. In Orlando. Where was it? In Orlando, right?
The bubble of Orlando.
We watched a World Series between Los Angeles and Tampa Bay be played outside of Dallas. You watched the Stanley Cup final between Dallas and Tampa Bay be played in Edmonton. I mean, it's not like, oh my goodness, how can this be? How can this be? They played the Rose Bowl in Durham, North Carolina back in 1942 because of World War II. They were, people on the West Coast were afraid of a high-profile event, that they'd be a target, that the West Coast would get bombed and would be a target, and so they moved the game. I think it was Duke and Oregon State, if I'm not mistaken, and so they moved the game. So, look, we're watching stuff happen. And I don't know that we're done seeing stuff move, I don't know that.
Can't say that we won't see something else move. We won't see schedule change. It's going to happen.
Yeah, so it's where we are as of today. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's how to get in today. Emails have come in this morning. Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. Lars says, game moved, Jeff. I can't wait for your game later this month. I want to play the New Mexico Bowl right now. Has the New Mexico Bowl become the granddaddy of Southwest Bowl games? Nope. 15 years old this year, though, JJ. 15 years old. And it's quite the grandchild compared to 83 with the Sun Bowl.
But it's something that I'm going to miss. I was pretty much already. Well, I was understanding, I wasn't going to be able to be there, whether it was here or not, this season, which was a total bummer because it's a day I look forward to because I kick back and just enjoy football, not thinking about a post-game show, pre-game show, this or that, and just one of those moments to just take it all in. So it will be missed, but of course it will be prominent viewing for the family.
Yeah, it'll be Christmas Eve, and it'll be 1:30 in the afternoon. As of now, right? I mean, that's everything, right? Everything's as of now. Didn't somebody once say, oh, we're all day-to-day? I'm day-to-day, aren't we all? I think everything's day-to-day, but we'll see. How many games on this week's schedule? I haven't really looked. So are any Mountain West games already shut down for this weekend?
I don't believe we have seen any cancellations for Mountain West football.
All right, so San Jose State and Boise State couldn't go last weekend because of COVID. Colorado State was shut down. They have COVID issues. And Fresno State, correct? Not Wyoming. So this is the first time the Lobos in a while are playing a team that played last week.
First time in 2 weeks.
Because Air Force was off the week before because of COVID issues. And before that, or this week, Utah State was off because of COVID. I'm looking to see the schedule right now. So Air Force, Utah State this week on Thursday. Friday, it'll be Boise State and UNLV. Saturday, Hawaii, San Jose State, which is really an interesting game, by the way. Colorado State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Nevada, and Wyoming, New Mexico, as of now, are all on. And let's, knock on Formica or hardwood or whatever you got in front of you. I saw a couple Conference USA stuff. I'm looking through the schedule. JJ, so Northwestern Minnesota's off. And UCLA, Arizona State. No, UCLA, Arizona State's still going. The only game I see off right now is Northwestern, Minnesota. It's Tuesday, but that'd be progress, wouldn't it? To only have one?
Yeah, there was supposed to be Western Kentucky, Charlotte today. That's not happening.
Why? What?
I don't know, because I know that game was obviously pushed till today, so something is still happening. Cincinnati, Tulsa, Southern Miss, UTEP, games that are off the schedule. But I think a lot of these might have been games that were moved due to rescheduling beforehand. When you see like the postpones outside of just Northwestern Minnesota being one of the prominent ones canceled.
Yeah. Southern Miss and UTEP is shut down. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get games. And look, you're watching games. Do you watch as much on Saturdays as you have in the past? Saturdays have been weird for me. I spent 3.5 hours during the Iron Bowl blowing and chasing leaves in my backyard, bagging up 3 gigantic bags of leaves instead of sitting down and watching the Iron Bowl. And that's Alabama and Auburn this weekend. It's such and you know how my life is pretty much run, especially this time of year, by college football. I don't know, man. I I watched the Lobos. I couldn't catch San Diego State because they were on the Pac-12 network. I didn't have that. Didn't really watch the game. We watched a movie on Saturday night, which was kind of an anomaly in November that we sat down and watched a movie instead of a football game. I'm trying. It's just the passion for me. It's been just so wonky. Everything's been, and I don't even know what's on anymore.
I'm watching more Mountain West football this year. Mm-hmm. Given the fact that I have that ability, I really like the way the schedule is settled in for the conference. Getting the Thursday and Friday night games on Fox Sports 1 or CBS Sports Network, I think is huge, because then you can have a little more staggered kickoff times, like it's 2-5 and then 2 games at 8:30 on Saturday. So I think the exposure for the conference this year has been really good given the circumstances. And I like overall. I know there's times where a lot of these guys are doing so many games when you listen to the announcers that maybe like a crisper broadcast when it comes to some of the Mountain West games, which it's understandable when you know something.
I would like that.
Yeah, when you're as invested in something, it's not necessarily being presented as well. But I think the schedule's been great for the Mountain West in terms of viewing. So I've been watching more Mountain West football, actually.
Yeah, there's been times, it's been more so on Fox and CBS Sportsnet, where I felt like, I'm listening to guys who do Pac-12 games, that this is kind of like, they just don't take it as seriously. They're not as prepared. And I know that they would take offense to that, but I could point out names that are wrong, or calling Wyoming Colorado State, or just inaccuracies, flat out inaccuracies that anybody who covers this league knows. And it just, maybe to your point with familiarity, that'll get better and that'll get much less. All right. 505-246-0610. You got another segment to get in. I got some more emails I want to get through to you. Get you some final thoughts on the NFL before we get out of here as well. 246-0610. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks and 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Protection. Deep ball. Erickson's open. Touchdown, Monarchs.
Second and 10. Smith looking, and he's going to fire over the middle, and he's got his guy, and it's another big play. Walking away for a touchdown, Tristan Altier.
They're going to hand it off to Chavez. Chavez breaking tackles, look out! Chavez up the sideline, stays in bounds, touchdown, Volcano Vista.
That replay,
I got you.
Measurement.
Smith's got a fire on first down, and he's on the outside. There's a lot of room for Brad Thomas. A move, and he's set free. Dance into the end zone. Touchdown. So it goes.
He'll run with it. Stumbling. Gets down into the end zone. They're looking to throw it. And he throws it in the end zone. Caught!
First and 10 from the 11. And spin move for Smith. Push the B button. Dance into the end zone.
They'll throw it. Looking. Here comes the rush. Stepping up. Pavia now running around. Being chased. Looks across. Throws it up. Man's wide open. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Siembieda. Dropping, looking, stepping up. He's going to run. He's got a lot of green in front of him. To the end zone. Touchdown. Rio Rancho, Isaiah Chavez. Chavez set. He's going to run with it again and dives and...
It's Austin Smith, and to the outside, a lot of room. Look out. A foot race down the sideline. All the way on the first play from scrimmage, Chris. That's a touchdown.
Scrambling. And off. Great hit. He bounces off. Outside. Got some daylight at the 20, the 10, the 5. What an incredible run.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled. You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. BC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
So here's a unique problem that's facing college football that's just starting to surface a little bit. Ohio State may not have the requisite number of games to get into the Big Ten title game. They may or may not play against Michigan State on Saturday of this week. And if they don't, they're not going to have the requisite number of games played to get into the Big Ten championship game. And if they don't get into the Big Ten championship game, can they get into the college football playoff? If they play this weekend, Ryan Day, who's their head coach, is not going to be able to coach. He tested positive last week for COVID. He's in isolation. He won't be out of isolation in time. The earliest he can return is Monday, and that's if he meets the CDC prevention guidelines. So, JJ, we got a lot of issues here. If they don't play this week, should the Big Ten revise, and why not? I mean, it's 2020, you can do whatever you want. But should they revise their guidelines and allow their best team to play in their championship game? Now, here's the other piece. The Big Ten is using that weekend, championship weekend, which is the weekend of Saturday would be the 19th of December, to play games. So not just their championship game, but like the teams who finish second in each division are going to play each other third, fourth, fifth. So that would give them 6 games, which would be requisite in regards to the College Football Playoff Committee. The College Football Playoff Committee could then take a look at an undefeated Ohio State and weigh them heavier than they weigh the conference champion. I think you got a lot going on here with Ohio State. Do you think the College Football Playoff Committee, because I do, at that point should look at Ohio State and say, well, I mean, they're one of the best teams. They only played 6 games. The other guys played 8, but we're putting them in.
Isn't that what they're supposed to do anyway?
Put the best team in?
Isn't that kind of their whole mantra? Well, they use it, they're the conference champion, we'll put them in. But isn't it kind of been the whole mindset of we'll take the best teams regardless? We're here to judge who we believe are the best football teams?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. And so...
And they've used like kind of the conference champions to make it easier on themselves. Like, of course, they won the SEC and they won the Big Ten this year, so we're going to put them in. But this year, more so than any other year, it would seem like they would really fall into that criteria, because Ohio State not playing the Big Ten title game versus an Indiana team that they beat, who probably would be in their place, that doesn't have their starting quarterback, all of a sudden Indiana's not better because they got that chance than Ohio State.
Yeah, okay, so there's a few things there. Would you have enough criteria, enough games to go on to make that assessment? I think in your point, they would. Who would be playing in their place? Indiana's 5-1 with their 1 loss to Ohio State. But what if the other side wins? What if the winner is... God, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody's got a loss. Everybody else has a loss. So if Indiana takes another loss, and right now it's Northwestern, it would be Northwestern, Indiana would be your Big Ten championship game, which is so bizarre. I mean, I just, for anybody who knows that league, just think of Northwestern and Indiana would be playing. Is anything more 2020 than Northwestern and Indiana playing for a Big Ten football championship?
College game day going to Coastal Carolina for Coastal Carolina Liberty this weekend.
That's beautiful. Or college game day going to Augusta for the Masters. Yeah. Coastal Carolina Liberty is a big deal this week. Those are 2 ranked teams. Those are 2. No, once Liberty got beat once, and Coastal is the best team in the Sun Belt. Ohio State's 4-0, JJ. If they don't play this week, they're just not going to get to 6 games. Is playing 5 games, and I guess that 6th game on the 19th, is that enough for them to be considered? And I guess you're saying, well, who else is it? Because it's going to be Alabama, and it's going to be Clemson and Notre Dame. Is it just going to be Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Florida?
Yeah. And do you think Florida or, say, Texas A&M is better just because they happen to play 7 or 8 games versus 5 games?
Yeah.
Big question.
Something to watch, because that's going to be a really interesting one. All right. Good job, Micah. You saved us wearing your lifeguard shirt. Otherwise, I don't know, we might have drowned today. Good thing we had a lifeguard here. Alden Japel. Nice job on the video side. Jim Rome Show was next. Dan Patrick Show is after that. Sports Bar with Trulio and Carlisle this afternoon at 3. JJ, what do you think? We'll come back tomorrow morning and do it again at 7 a.m.?
Going up on a Tuesday.
Enjoy your day today. Go out and be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. See you tomorrow.
Comfort Dental knows these are unique times we're all experiencing right now. We understand.